Hello guys, and these days Russian Federation experiences the largest internet outage ever. 78 out of 89. This enormously large Russian Federation experienced serious problems with internet. And what makes the whole situation more mysterious, they have problems both with the cable internet and with the mobile internet. For example, in the hometown of the Kremlin dictator Putin, St. Petersburg, just yesterday they fixed more than 4,000 complaints, and that is a lot. Of course, Russia is a country of limited access to information, but this seems to harm a lot of other everyday tasks, like, for example, using the taxi application on the mobile. What is also interesting, this problem occurs literally in every region of the Russian Federation, and they can be close to the front lines, far away from the front lines, they can be full of various military objects or none. So it may be connected with the Russian fear of the Ukrainian drones who sometimes use internet and mobile technologies, or maybe that is an effort to limit access to the information, which is not very optimistic these days for the Russian population. So let's discuss all of the versions in the video and observe as the Ukrainian armed forces keep implementing the only working peace plan, and that is to defeat and demilitarize Russia. My name is Anna, I'm from Ukraine, I'm in Ukraine, and if you want to witness the collapse of the Kremlin and also demonstrate your solidarity with Ukraine, please subscribe and share these videos if you share my opinion, of course. So these months of summer turned out to be very problematic for the Russian internet, the Russian economy, the Russian airlines, the Russian soldiers, the Russian, well, literally every Russian, but internet seems to be something very important in the everyday life, even if access to some services or web pages is limited by the Kremlin censorship. They still use it actively for this everyday tasks like using a cab, I don't know, buying some tickets or products. And all of that became very problematic literally in 78 out of 89 Russian regions. That is a lot. Once again, I love repeating and reporting problems in Putin's favorite city, where he worries about the public opinion. He's afraid of protest in St. Petersburg and in Moscow. So just yesterday, they fixed 4,000 complaints about the quality of both mobile and cable internet. Just in one city, 4,000 various complaints. In general, experts try to understand what is the reason behind that. And some were sure that perhaps that is the only way Russians can protect some of their strategic military objects from the visits of the Ukrainian drones. It is not that it is the effective way, because we know how to do it the other way, but it is one of the options. Though it does not seem that realistic, because internet disappears in a lot of regions that are very far away from the front lines, and some that may not have any military objects of interest to the Ukrainian drone travelers. So among those regions most suffering from the internet outages, we have Moscow, and I like it, Omsk, Amur, Novosibirsk, and the Republic of Tatarstan. Up to 30% of users report serious problems, specifically with their mobile internet. And here I think about huge drone production facilities in this republic with a great potential to become independent one day. So maybe this is the effort of the Kremlin to somehow, back up the situation when your air defense is constantly failing you. And the air defense in my city did a miracle today. And I'm very grateful to all of you who were worried for me. And actually, it was perhaps the worst attack ever in my life. Lutsk, my native city, my hometown, and for you to imagine and compare my city with your places where you live, it's approximately 250,000. It's not very big. And last night, Russia targeted us with 5 missiles that travel really quickly and approximately more than 50 Shahed drones. That was a combined attack. Understanding that our air defense is not that advanced as in Kyiv, I don't know how they managed to save people's lives. And according to reports that I keep following during the day, no serious damage was done. So this is extremely, extremely good. And I'm very grateful to all these brave heroes of our air defense. All the night, you know that I'm not a weak person, not a frightened person, but I spent it in the corridor, perhaps for the first time in my life, thinking about the need to go to the shelter. Constant explosions, constant work of air defense, but they were shooting down those Shahed drones with rifles. They are very special and you can hear it all the time. Just imagine 50 Shahed drones that they need to down above your head. I heard them buzzing behind my window. I heard people shooting and shouting. And then perhaps the most frightening moment was, of course, when you receive a message in your air raid alert apps. Internet is important here, telling about missiles in the direction of your city. You know there is 3-4 minutes until they target. And these 3-4 minutes, just imagine what you are thinking about. So I had a lot of such minutes this night and I kept listening, and then you hear the sound of air defense. And as an experienced Ukrainian, you definitely recognize the difference. And I was happy to hear this air defense working and then no missile explosions, which means they were stopped. Thank you so much to all of you who helped to get more drone interceptors. They were already working. So these are not just rifles, but also drone interceptors, the war of future in my native city. I couldn't have imagined something similar happening just 3 years ago. Another important thing, please push your governments to provide Ukraine air defense. That was exactly what I was praying for today in Lutsk. And it is super important for ordinary Ukrainians like me because, you know, Russians target civilian areas, hospitals, schools, anything. And asking for air defense is just asking for saving innocent lives, nothing else. It's a super defensive weapon. And I actually do not understand how someone may not want to provide it to save innocent lives of people and children if you have this opportunity. And I'm very grateful if you keep influencing your decision makers, your politicians, your governments to provide Ukraine with that. But let's go back to problems in Russia and subscribe to get more information as the Federation collapses. Trust me, there are too many terminal symptoms of the Kremlin regime, starting with the economy, starting with the inability of Putin and the Russian army to control their borders. Also, these days, dozens of thousands of Russians experienced nights in airports. It's uncomparably better than nights we have in bomb shelters when they target us with drones and missiles. And actually, this was the largest attack ever. More than 640 different weapons were targeted to ruin Ukraine, and many of them were stopped. But, you know, they had to wait for the canceled or delayed flights, and they were super angry. Of course, it's not dangerous for their lives, but they got the taste of war at least a bit, and they come to this understanding that not everything goes according to Putin's plan. And now we have internet together with that. So I have enumerated these regions like Omsk, Amur, Tver, Tatarstan Republic, Moscow, St. Petersburg. Of course, these are frontline regions like Kursk, Belgorod. But what is interesting, a lot of people experience problems in Kamchatka. And Kamchatka is the far east of Russia, very far away on the shores of the Pacific Ocean. And the local authorities officially confirmed that these problems with the internet are caused by fear of the Ukrainian drones or some other Ukrainian weapons destroying the Pacific fleet, just as we did with the Black Sea fleet. And I think this is beautiful. Fear and panic inside the country that wanted war, and when tasted war, decided it doesn't like it. It's always like that. So imagine they fear Ukrainian drones literally on the other side of the world, close to the Pacific Ocean. I think the spiderweb operation changed a lot in the minds of the Russians, in the minds of the Americans. And here I want to ask you a question and give me your answers in the comments below. What do you think is the major reason for these internet outages in Russia? Is it the way Kremlin wants to protect military objects from the Ukrainian drones that sometimes may use internet and mobile connection? Or is that the Kremlin regime trying to filter and limit access of people to the news, to the reports coming from different corners, not just of the world, where Trump seems to be a bit dissatisfied with Putin, whom he adored previously, and even Russian ministers either leaving Russia forever, going to hell, or reporting about the recession, many more things. So is it their effort to protect military objects, or are they trying to limit access to information? If you have any other versions, also leave them in comments. I read everything very attentively. And to tell you the truth, that was exactly what I was doing more than 3 hours, sitting in my corridor. I was reading your comments. I did not answer because I felt like literally a bit superstitious, but they gave me so much love and so much energy that I simply want to thank you again. And I was also very happy to see that today Zelensky met with the Pope, and the Pope speaks the truth and stands for the good. That is an extremely important change of attitude. And I was so happy to see Zelensky happy. If you have come across the photos from Rome, you might have noticed that. Thank you so much for all your kindness, your prayers, your support, your requests for the air defense systems for Ukraine. Please keep doing that, because this literally saves lives. 5 missiles stopped. Just imagine what could have happened if they were not stopped. And we do not have enough of these things. And this is very, very wrong and very unjust. Close the skies above Ukraine, because we deserve that. Every human being deserves that. Only invaders must be punished for breaking the law. Let me know if you are available this Saturday for a conversation, because once again, I'm so grateful for our community and the support that I feel here, and all of us feel here, and all the good things that you do say to support Ukraine. So if you're available, please join me 9 p.m. Kyiv. Let me know. Also, remember to follow me on Instagram. Our community is growing there, same as on the Blue Sky. The link to X is in the description. Join me there too, and Threads, and of course our amazing Discord community. Check our merch shop for lots of good items that work well as reminders and conversation starters about Ukraine, and you clearly see we need that a lot. And I'm very grateful when you report about these conversations that you hold and how you change people's opinions and literally, guys, literally save Ukrainian lives. Thank you for that. Slava Ukraini!